Let's talk about Power Hungry Pets, a love letter game from Exploding Kittens. Welcome to Brains on Games. I'm Dr. Brian McDonald. In this episode, we're going to talk about a recent game from the folks at Exploding Kittens. It's a game called Power Hungry Pets. This is a love letter style game, but of course it's got that Exploding Kittens art style, so you know it's going to be a silly, ridiculous game. This is a game for between 2 and 6 players. It is kind of a family game, a party game. 2 to 6 players. Kids age 7 and up can figure it out, and it only takes about 15 minutes to play a game. Let's take a deeper look at Power Hungry Pets from Exploding Kittens. Power Hungry Pets is a super light game. You can see I've laid out the cards here. It's a super light game. Really what you're trying to do is either be the last player standing, because there are some cards that will eliminate players from the game, but even though I don't usually like player elimination, this game goes so quickly that you're not going to be eliminated for very long. So you either want to be the last one standing to be the winner, or you want to be the player who's holding the highest card at the end of the game when there are no cards left in this deck. Like I said, this is super simple. Each player is going to start with one card in their hand. One card gets dealt face down, so nobody knows what that is. So all you know is that there's one card missing from the deck. On your turn, you draw a card, you play a card. Like I said, you're trying to be the player who has the highest card at the end of the game, but each of the cards that you play in front of you is going to cause some effect on one or more of the other players. Like I said, there are cards that will cause you to be eliminated. There are cards that cause you to trade cards. You might be able to peek at and possibly trade the face down card that you dealt out at the start of the game. So there are all kinds of abilities here. And of course, like I said, if you want to be the one with the highest number, the numbers go up to 10. Now, a 0, if somebody does have a 10 at the end of the game, a 0 is going to beat that 10, but the tricky part about that number 10 card, the King Cat, the highest card in the game, there's only one of those in the deck. If any card forces you to put that card face up in front of you, you're going to be eliminated. If you get the King Cat too early in the game, you're probably going to get knocked out because there's so many different ways that you're going to be forced to put that card face up in front of you. So everybody is just going to draw a card and play a card, carry out the action that's on that card. Once all but one player is eliminated, or there are no cards left to draw in the deck, then you're going to see who the winner is of that round. That winner is going to get a token. Once you get a couple of these in one of the larger games, if it's 4 to 6 players, you only need to win twice. You need 3 in a 2 to 3 player game. That's going to be the end, and then you're going to win. But like I said, it goes so fast, you can just play it again. The distribution of the cards in the deck has an impact as well, because you're going to be thinking about what cards might those other players have. So there's only one each of the cards numbered from 6 to 10. There's only 1 0. There are a greater number of these other cards. There's a couple of 4s and 5s. I think there's 3 of the 2s and 3s. There are 5 1s. So there are a different number, a different probability that you're going to draw a lower number card. You're more likely to draw a card with a lower number than the higher ones, but you're trying to evaluate what cards are being played in front of each player. Those cards, when you play them, stay face up so that everyone can see what numbers have been removed from the deck. What skills are you practicing, though, when you play Power Hungry Pets? Well, it is a game that does require some working memory skills. Working memory is the whiteboard in your mind where you keep information so that you can juggle it somehow. What are you keeping track of here? What are you juggling? Well, you've got a reference sheet that reminds you of the number of each kind of card in the deck. So you're thinking about this, what cards are in the deck. You're thinking about what cards each player has played. These cards are going to be face up in front of them, so you're sort of looking across the tableau in front of all the other players. You're trying to use that information to figure out which cards the other players have so that you know either am I going to be winning this game, or does that player have the King Cat? Do I need to find a way to try and force them to play that card so that they're going to be eliminated from the game? So working memory is required, but you're using working memory to deduce the cards in each player's hand. They're only going to be holding on to one at a time. They'll have one, they play one. They have one, they play one. So you're really trying to guess what card do they have? What's the face down card that's been removed from the deck? You might get a chance to peek at that or trade it so that you'll know what it is. So you're juggling that information and you're using it to really develop what's your strategy going to be in terms of which player you want to target if you're going to trade cards or force them to play their card. Final thoughts about power hungry pets. Okay, well, this is an Exploding Kittens game. So, number one, it's going to be ridiculous. There's going to be lots of laughs. The artwork is fun, of course. That's by the guy from the Oatmeal. It's a game where it's just like it's a simple family game, a simple party game. It's quick, it's funny. There is a little bit of strategy. And like I said, there's a little bit of deductive reasoning. The card actions are fun. And because it's so quick to play, even though players are being eliminated, they're not being eliminated for very long because the games end so quickly. So you'll come back in and you get to play the next round. We had a lot of fun. And in fact, one of the players that I tried this out with brought it home and played it with his family too. It was a big hit. We haven't had anybody who said, oh, this game is no good. It's even got a box that has a cutout here. You can see the cat from Exploding Kittens, but it's got a cutout in the shape of that cat. So the cards are fun, the size is fun, the box even is fun. This is a fun, silly game. But really that is the downside. If you want to talk about a downside of an Exploding Kittens game, it's that it's not super complex. Like there's a little bit of strategy, but it's not anything. It's not a brain burner, put it that way. So if that's what you're looking for, obviously you're not going to be thinking about a game like this, which is a party game. These are not games that are meant to be super strategic. There's enough strategy here and enough memory here without really causing any brain burn. So you're not going to have to sit for a long time and think about, well, what am I going to do? But there's a little bit of, ooh, what card do I think that player has? So, honestly, if that's the kind of game you're looking for, a simple family game, a party game, perfect. What more could you ask for? And these love letter style games are super popular. This one is a great one if you like that Exploding Kittens artwork and if you like a little bit of take that in a game that's not going to last very long. So if you kick somebody out there, they might get revenge in the next round, but they're not going to be kicked out for a long time. If you have any questions or comments, you can of course leave them in the comment section below the video, or you can email me at brian@brainsongames.ca. Brainsongames.ca is the website. That's where future episodes will go. Previous ones are up there already. Brains on Games is the X handle and the Facebook page and the Instagram feed, so we're all over the place. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to be notified of future ones, you can head on over to YouTube and click that subscribe button. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time.